It's funny. It's funny you talk about. It's funny you talk about that because me and my boy touched on the King of the South shit last episode, and like when Tip started saying that shit, ain't nobody refute that shit, and he was like, "Man, Face Mob the King of the South."
I don't refute that neither.
And again, it's hard to refute.
One of the originals.
It's hard to refute. Excuse me, but at the same time, and maybe it was a thing of when he said it, the older guys was looking like, "All right, fella, it's your time." They saw it. And he was relentless with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and nobody that was actually in the arena and in a position to contest it did it because they couldn't. Lyrically, T.I. is a monster himself.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So, it was like, but Pac was under Pimp tutelage. I mean, not Pac. Banner's under his, so like, and for him to be where he is now with the God Box and all of that shit, and even that new track that he did, like, he got a pro-black track with, like, I think Sci-Hi on that motherfucker, Pastor Troy on that motherfucker, talking about this police brutality shit and all of that, and it's like, that's the kind of shit he's doing now, but I truly feel like there's the possibility that that's what Pac would have morphed into had he been alive. Because you think about how much earlier in his career Brenda Had a Baby and Dear Mama and all of that shit kind of was, and then he kind of more so graduated to the G shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then more and more you got G shit. But I think given the time, he would have remorphed back, and that's not saying that he completely pulled away from his stance on other shit, because he didn't. Because if you stuck a camera in his face and gave him an interview, he was going to talk about that shit and not the G shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I feel like he would have morphed into what I consider Banner to be now.
Indeed.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Indeed. So your criteria for the top 5?
It can't. It's content.
Mm-hmm.
It's versatile. When I'm looking at stuff, I always consider versatility. I always consider versatility a plus. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I got that from playing ball.
Right.
You know, my dad taught me, as a basketball player, my dad taught me to be able to play all 5 positions. That way, if you're the point guard and you running the offense, you know where everybody else on the floor is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And you can make decisions accordingly. Versatility, just like KG. Yeah, he's 6'11", allegedly 7 foot. But KG could run point guard.
Yes, he could.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
But somehow people want to tell me that Tim Duncan is better. No. And to me, what sets them apart is versatility. I can get more out of this. I can get more out of him. If I need a bucket, I ain't got to just say, "Hey, KG, go stand on that block. I'm gonna try to get you the ball."
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I can be like, "Fuck it." On the inbound, we inbounding 2 kg. You could bring the ball up and find it from there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Versatility is definitely a key. Like I say, especially in versatility. Like to me, Pac had it was basically the same delivery. And I'm not knocking it, because what I done told you, Science, like, bro, you got one delivery right now.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And I don't say it as a knock, because you drilled the shit out of that motherfucker.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's an observation. You know what I mean? Pac had one delivery for the most part. I ain't never seen, like, and when I say that, I'm thinking about like Twister. How often do you hear a Twister repeat a cadence or a delivery style? It ain't often, but it seems like this motherfucker just keep pulling them out his ass. And y'all ain't talking enough, man. Y'all got me feel like I know it's my show, but y'all on here to be a part of it, bro.
For sure.
Like, this ain't no clear out moment. Like, nah, bro, y'all shine. Like, weigh in. But I know I also understand that you did ask me a question.
Yeah.
You know, I consider stuff like that, you know. And so we got versatility, your cadence and delivery. I do look at the content. Like, cause if all you can do is make gun metaphors, don't get me wrong, that strong suit is gonna be appealing to somebody. But if that's all you can do, it's gonna get, to me, I'm gonna get bored. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, man?
Shit. For criteria, I would have to say the main thing is what are you talking about? Your content. Your substance. Because that's really what, that's really, to me, that's what hip hop is.
And to me, that I feel like that was one of Pac's upper hands, his content. But go ahead.
I definitely agree with that. And I would definitely have to say your creativity. I once heard somebody say this. I think I was like 13, I believe, and this always stuck with me. They was like, for you to be considered to be the best, like the best, you have to be able to do everything. You have to be able to make a what they call a record that's trap. You have to be able to do, of course, a hip hop record, of course. Rap, you know what I'm saying? Just give bars, like substance, or not even substance. I take that back. Just being able to put word play, you know what I'm saying, creatively together.
Yeah. I call it like that ooh factor. Like there's a lot of niggas that a lot of people think are dope, but I don't think they're dope because they don't make me go ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
We talked about that at Walmart.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, word,
like
if I don't listen, I was saying, goddamn, if I don't listen to motherfucker if they don't they can't make me do that.
Like the baby. Like I know niggas like the baby, but he not yet has he made me go ooh. Not with one line. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
You know, in school, my strong point was English. So I pay attention to how you use literary devices, how you use alliteration, how you use metaphors and similes, how you use onomatopoeias. Like I pay attention to that shit.
Indeed.
Like I pay attention to what you said and what you meant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, word, for sure.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I have to
focus
say.
on too, for real. But yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you, boy, you got some dope schemes. Cause I told you, I ain't gonna lie. Can I say it?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Habits.
Habits, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, on habits. You know, all four of us on habits. Like, and you like I bowled. Yeah. And you snuck a bowling run past me. And then I went back and caught him and I was like, that shit was nasty. Yeah. Like, just out of curiosity, can you do that run real quick, bro?
Damn, boy.
I know, pressure. Spotlight. Bow.
Man, I cannot remember that shit. Cause most of the stuff I do, I don't write down.
Like something like I stay in my lane on keeping it rolling. Sounding like I was bowling. Like, bro, you did that shit. And like I pay attention to stuff like
that can't think of it right now. But yeah, that's something that I like try to hone in on. I like to make a motherfucker go like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and one thing I try to like make sure I do, or one thing that I think I'm special at is like painting a picture. Yeah. Like I want, like when somebody hear me say something, I want them to see that shit. You know what I'm saying? To see what I'm saying. Like, and I think I'm getting better and better at that. More, you know what I'm saying? The more that I do it. Yeah. But man, I be rapping so much, man. I can't remember that shit. For real though, I be staying. Yeah. We stay in the studio.
That's why I don't know about.
I just do so much.
I don't know about you, but for me, even though I don't, some stuff I don't write down, I don't feel like I'm ready to record until I can spit it without looking at it. Yeah, if I do write it down.
Okay, word.
You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Like even if I do end up looking at it, if I can't drop that shit and get in the moment and be going and not looking at it, then I don't feel like I'm ready to record.
Yeah, word.
You know, cause that's just me. I'm
sure.
anal like that.
Most of the time, how I record for real, what I be doing, I be getting on rhyme zone, and we
like, talked about doing that because I do it too.
Yeah,
and it's please don't get confused. A lot of people do it. A lot of people use different things. Yeah.
You know
what I'm saying? Like when you get, but go ahead.
I get on rhyme zone, and I'll think, cause most of the times, like I'll think of a word, and it's not like I can't think of something that rhymes with it, but when I'm able to look at all the words that rhyme with it, it helps me better paint the picture that I'm trying to paint with my lyrics. You know what I mean? So yeah, like that's really how I do it for real. And I punch in like bar for bar. That's something that I do, and I like doing that because it's like, in my opinion, it's like a breath of fresh air, like every bar, and it's like I can bring the clarity and the energy that I want to bring. You know what I mean? In that moment, and I have the ability to capture that energy and continue to bring that energy every moment.
And see, that bugs me out because I done seen y'all record, y'all done seen me record, and for me, y'all know I don't feel like I'm upholding the level of energy until I can run all the way through that motherfucker.
So,
like if I gotta keep starting and stopping, it's like a dropping and spiking energy.
Word, for sure. And it took practice. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm just not like these guys past like couple months. You know what I'm saying? Since the quarantine and everything, I really like honed in and you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I mastered it, but I'm pretty good at it. Okay. I'm pretty good at that. So, hell yeah.
What about you, Flex? I'm tired of you being quiet. How do you record, bro?
Bring him out the cut.
Yeah, I gotta pull him into this somehow. He just over there like the amen choir at church.
It really depends. I love recording when we all in here though, because I feed off their energy. Goddamn, if I know, it's like I know I'm spitting some real shit when I can see their reaction. Goddamn.
It give you that confidence.
Yeah, it definitely give me a confidence booster. But when I'm in here by myself, I punch in. But I'm trying to get to a place now where I can remember shit in my head and
repetition.
Yeah, and really like get my delivery on point. I'm trying to be consistent with my flow for real.
And I'm asking you this for a reason. Me and Science to talk about it in a second, and if you want to, I will make you privy to that conversation. But what don't you like about your delivery?
Shit. My words, I slur in my pronunciation.
Do you stutter?
I stutter like hell.
So
stutter like
fuck.
And
so I'll make you privy to the conversation then, if it's all right with you.
Yeah, that's cool.
The other day when you saw me here, we were talking about, because you remember what I said to you, like, bro, that song that you did after that and Habits, it sounds like two different niggas.
Yeah.
It sounds like you got better, and part of it is the delivery. And what he told me was, well, you know, he stuttered. And I was like, shit, fuck that, drag on, stutter.
Yeah.
But when he wanted to be, he one of the fastest rappers out there. He's one of the most articulate rappers out there. And because, and I'm able to weigh in on it because I stutter. I have a lisp. I think in like 3rd, 4th grade, they put me in speech class. And so when I'm rapping, that's what that is.
Oh yeah, and I do that a lot.
That's me controlling the lisp. That's me controlling the stutter. Like you gotta stop. Like, sometimes you gotta stop.
Just chill.
Swallow, you know what I mean? Or swallow that excess spit, because that's what a lisp is. You produce an extra saliva. Yeah. And so, you know, that shit it plays a part in your pronunciation. And you got did you go to therapy?
No, see, I was homeschooled and shit. I was homeschooled all the way to 6th grade.
Okay.
So like, know what I mean?
So you've never been in speech therapy?
No, I ain't never. No.
Okay.
I mean, like,
see, what they taught me in speech therapy is like, as far as the lisp, stop and make sure you swallow your spit before you speak. That way it happens less. And as far as the stuttering, like that's why they like it's about taking your time, because usually when we stutter, we're rushing. That's why they tell you the last thing you want to do when you talking to somebody that stutter is to try to rush me. Nah, say what you got to say. Go ahead, get it out there. Like that shit don't help. It's anxiety. It's anxiousness. They really want to get that shit out, but you're not helping them by pushing them like that. And I apply the same thing when I'm rapping. Like, I know when I sound fucked up because I know if I swallowed that spit before I started. I know if I was rushing. I know when I'm rushing. Nah, I gotta do that shit over. And I ask you that because I know he already told me you kind of I don't want to say insecure, but you're self-conscious.
Yeah, I'm definitely
Of your-
self-confident
of your delivery.
For sure.
And
Like,
I'll address that with you because I
not-
went through it too. Like I hate, honestly, I lie not. I hate my voice,
it's not even.
which is ironic because I rap.
Yeah.
I'm doing a podcast now, and but I hate my voice because it's deep, and honestly, to a certain degree, I don't feel like I have total, complete control over my voice, especially when I'm rapping. And sometimes I fear I sound monotone. You know what I mean? And you done saying it like, nah, bro, I ain't like the way that shit sounded. That shit sounded like I ain't had no energy, like I ain't had no spirit, like I'm the walking fucking dead. I gotta do that shit over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it even now, even though I've gotten better at it, it's something I'm always thinking about and worried about because it's my voice. And I don't even like the way I sound. You know?
And when it comes, I'm definitely self-conscious about a lot of shit I do though. It's not even just my voice for real.
Well, you're human.
And that's one thing about me too. Like, I'm trying to get better at just living. You know what I'm saying? Cause I overthink everything.
Right.
Like I overthink why that shit just sitting there like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I have to focus on that, and I just like you ask them, bro. I just.
And wasn't you
dismiss, you know what I'm saying?
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't you the one out the group that you the cancer?
Yeah.
Yes, and see that's where we connected because I'm July 5th.
Yeah, I'm June 22nd.
And, you one of them?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm playing. I don't play the June July cancer game. Like if you're a cancer, to me, if you're a cancer, you're a cancer. And even in little stuff like that, like things that we do, like overthinking and over-analyzing and over-processing stuff and being empaths. Like, that shit, both groups have that shit. You know what I mean? And I think when we first met, that's what it was. That's what it is about you, man. That's where we connected.
Yeah, I definitely try to control it now.
That's why I've been trying to pull your ass into this shit.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's tough. Cause I ain't never really had that guidance of slow down and shit like that.
Right.
Like, my people's always just was like understood what I was trying to get at. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm that type.
That's why you say it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mess up. You feel me? I be like, yeah, fuck that. I do that in a heartbeat. I had to really stop and slow down and
it's crazy.
Gather my thought.
Yeah.
And do all that because I be trying to rush and think of everything at one time. It's like
you got so much you want to say, but you can only say it
at one time, at
one at a time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of different things that they teach as far as, you know what I'm saying, speech and stuff like that. I seen one cat, I won't call no names because that man ain't here to defend himself or weigh in on it, but like I remember it was a cat, he stuttered so bad, like in the middle of the sentence he'd be like, So he'd be like say this man was like ordering something, he'd be like, yeah, I want a da-da-da, with fries, and da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just how he controlled the stuttering.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it it's just weird,
Yeah, for sure.
Not weird, but you do what you have to do.
Yeah. I'm definitely getting that ways that I can get my words out without having to slow down and keep readjusting and everything I'm saying. I figured if I relax more when I'm trying to talk, because I feel I'd be so anxious.
Yeah.
So anxious.
You want to weigh in?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? To get at what I'm trying to say or not forget what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny you said that. The only thing I want to say on that, I was so quiet on that because I really just got to take a second hand on that. But only thing I like to say about that is a 70-something year old man, he told me this. Shout out to you, Mr. Felix. He said his dad, and he from Guyana, and his pop said he used to say to him, before somebody asks you a question, give your brain time to digest that question that was said to you before you speak. And then, you know what I'm saying, clarify everything that you know what I'm saying, in your mind that you wanna convey to that person before you actually speak on that. And he was a teacher, by the way. And I only said that to say that I think it don't really, I mean, it matters because, you know what I'm saying, because that's something that you go through, and that's, you know what I'm saying, that you're going to have to deal with. But I think, I don't know, I think, like, some people try to make it seem like they not, and when I say some people, I mean people that like me that don't have to necessarily deal with a list, and you know what I'm saying, deal with stuttering. They make it seem like, I don't know, like, not more so like they can help it, but like with the whole Russian thing, you know what I'm saying, like, but us all as human beings, what I took from him saying that to me was, no matter who you are, like, we all should think about what's being said to us, slow down, convey what you want to say before you actually say it.
And I think to a certain degree that's a society problem. You know what I'm saying? We always rushing people. Like I've been in relationships, and because one thing I try to do is, like, I don't like answering quick fire questions. I hate that shit.
Like you on trial or some shit.
Yeah. And if I feel like I'm on trial, then I ain't even gonna lie. It might even take even longer to get the answer. Like, I've been in relationships and going back and forth, and it's like, hey, and it could be something simple like, yo, what's going on over here? Well, yo, you ain't gonna answer me? Like, yo, why you rushing me? You asked me a question, give me time to answer it. Like, I shouldn't have to answer that shit on your, like,
Johnny on
like,
the spot.
right.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a society problem. It's in relationships. When I say relationships, I mean like intimate relationships, like boyfriend and girlfriend, a spouse, or however you want to classify it. It's in relationships in terms of friends and just casually, you know what I'm saying, conversing with people. Like, and people like want to rush you to say what you got to say. Like, why? Like, I'm not obligated to answer that shit when you want me to answer that shit.
It's real.
Like, that's just how I feel about it, honestly. You know, and I try to be fair, especially like within relationships. I try to be fair. So, like, you know, I will try to, if I care a certain level about you, I will try to do better about that shit, because I know that shit irritates you. But at the same time, you still putting a certain level of pressure on me. Like, stop that shit. Like, work with me a little bit, yo. I love you. you know I'm slow. So, you know, work with me a little bit.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know? And we gotta, like, that's what we do. We rush around society, man.
They don't want to take their time, bro. They rather have fast food. That's what they so used to now. They not used to preparing a meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can equate that to anything you want in life. Like, whatever you want to go with that. Like,
yeah. But for me, one of the,
I like how you did.
Because I play around in the kitchen a little bit. For me, one of the best meals I ever made, because I think an ex taught me how to fry chicken. And you know, that shit don't really take too much. So it's something kind of quick. But that's what kind of wet my beak in terms of playing around with my culinary skills. You know what I'm saying? Fried chicken is cool, but I want to see if I can do some dope shit. So I went and I wanted to do a stuffed steak. And so what I did was, to me, that was the best meal me personally I ever made. Because what it is I had to, altogether it's like 45 minutes of prep. Because you got to butterfly the steak, then you got to layer it with whatever you putting in it. I think for that specific one, I did peppers, mushrooms, and provolone cheese. You got to layer that shit. Then you got to roll that shit up. And I think the shit was wrapped in bacon. So you gotta roll the shit up, wrap the shit in bacon, and you gotta tie it with the butcher's twine. That alone, especially if you're doing it by yourself, it's like you feel like you need 8 hands to do that shit. Because while you wrapping it with like you ain't tied it yet. So while you wrapping it with the bacon, you trying to hold the roll up that you done rolled up, and that shit going everywhere. This end spilling over, like it's work. But to me, that 45 minutes of prep and then that other 45 minutes of cooking, actually in the stove time. In the end, I got one of the best meals that I ever made in my life personally.
Yeah.
And it was like, damn, that shit was dope.
For sure.
Because of the time it took and the reward in the end. Like, don't get me wrong, and I like me a piece of fried chicken. I'm cool. I'm black just like everybody else. But like that was a whole nother level of satisfying.
Indeed. Preparations and the separation. For sure. For sure, bro. You gotta be able to put together a plan of what you want. Again, like I said, you could equate that to anything. Everybody want $1 million, but don't know the route to get it. And even if you get $1 million, you're losing.
But it's more people. Everybody want $1 million, but it's more people playing the lottery than it is actually trying to start their own business and groom it and help it grow and cultivate it.
For sure. That is the truth.
You know what I mean?
That is the truth. And even when you get it, right, you'll be so. If you don't have the knowledge is the best thing. Is way better than money, because if I got the knowledge on how to get $1 million, I can make $1 million 10 times over. But if I just instantly get it, or that fast food way of getting it, I'm not gonna appreciate it. For one, I'm not gonna
so
appreciate it.
it's gonna be gone just as fast as you got it.
I'm gonna blow it. I'm gonna blow it on the craziest things, right? So just taking that time, again, that goes back into time, which I was saying earlier with the whole taking your time with speaking. Like, you have the knowledge that you have to take your time to invest in to make yourself, I don't want to say a better human being, but just to speak the way that you would like to speak. It take anything you want, it's gonna take time.
Yeah.
And I think society has really ruined us from. They even try and make it seem like these people who the entrepreneurs nowadays, they make it seem like they just instantly blew up. Right. Like the Mark Zuckerbergs and people like this. Like they had to have some kind of knowledge. They had to have some kind of vision that they seen, that they worked in, and they applied. And let me say this too while I'm on top of this. Knowledge is it ain't shit and I know that sounds contradicting, but knowledge ain't nothing if you don't apply. If you don't apply without application, exactly. Without applied knowledge, you ain't really doing anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you have to first take the time to invest in yourself to be patient enough to acquire that knowledge. I always said being patient is a skill. Not everybody has. Not everybody has.
Absolutely. And
Fishing to teach you that, though.
Yeah. And you know what got me? Because, I remember being, at a certain point, being accused of being impatient. And I think one of the things that helped me develop the better set of patience is growing my beard. You know what I mean? Because like what I remember just the first one I grew was like, I want to say it was like 2010 or so. Maybe a little bit before, maybe a little bit after. But like that shit had done got to a level of probably where this is now. And it wasn't even, of course back then my hair was growing faster. But like, it got to the point where up until 6 years ago I would go a year and then I'd cut. But like people ask me, like I ain't did nothing, I don't cut it down. I just wait and let it do what it's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I let the whatever's gonna, I let it take place, I let it happen. And I can't rush it. Like, and people ask me like, bro, how I get my beard like yours? First of all, you gotta have patience. Before I can tell you anything else I'm putting on my beard, which segue for later, we'll talk about my beard oil later.
Tell them you put patience on your beard.
We'll talk about my wife's beard oil later. So, you know what I'm saying? All y'all cats that ask me what I put on my beard, when I say my wife, it's a joke and it's real. My wife's beard oil coming soon. I'm whipping it up. I almost got it right where I want it because it's basically things that I've been doing, all natural, and you're gonna smell awesome. So all y'all guys who just want the beard, just because you want the female attention, you're gonna love this because you're gonna smell awesome. She's gonna love the way you smell. If you got your little baby beard, but you putting this on it trying to get where I'm at, she gonna love the way you smell. And your beard gonna be taken care of. It's gonna be healthy, shiny, and glossy and all of that. But yeah. My fault. Hey, this is business, baby.
Yeah, that was needed.
This is business, baby. This is business, but
we appreciate that.
You know what I mean? But that's what it is. Like I had to name it my wife because before I actually had the thought of the beard oil, like people would ask me, and I wasn't really doing that at that time. So I was just like, yeah, my wife.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, people would get the joke, like you made a pussy eating joke. Yeah, I did. Because that's what everybody assumed. Like, yo, how much pussy you been eating? Like I've had women run up to me and say that shit. Like, yo, how much? I bet you. It's like, yo, why you just think that just because I got a beard? Like, that's kind of jacked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, this beard shit is some whole other stuff. Like, like, it don't shock me no more, but the things that I've heard having a beard from women, oh my gosh. It's like, do you kiss your mother with that mouth, lady? Like, get out of here. I don't even remember how we got there, but oh yeah, patience. But yeah, before like, yeah, you can do the oils and everything, but like, you gotta have patience. Like, even if you're doing the oils and whether it's mine or anybody else's, if you ain't got the patience to wait and let it take and run its course, you're not gonna end up with it. And that's what a lot of that to me, that's how I learned patience. Like I just had to let it go and be like, yo, I'm just gonna let it do what it do. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
And that let it play out, man. But it was applicable, just like other things that I've learned since growing a beard, to life. You know, people like, to me, like I said, I made the joke, but I'm dead serious. Like, it's people who want the beard just because they see the level of attention. And this ain't about over here. This ain't about attention. It wasn't I think this shit. Like I've been doing this shit before there was such thing as beard game. You know what I mean? When I first started rocking beards like this, it wasn't nothing but Osama bin Laden jokes. You know what I'm saying? People used to ask me, man, what you hiding from? I ain't hiding from that. Maybe I'm finding myself. You know what I'm saying? Because as it grows, I grow. And just like I tell y'all, I learned patience. Like I've learned a couple of other things. Like I'll never be so arrogant to say that I know how it feels to be a woman. But consider this. Like, you ever notice that young lady that's walking around like beautiful, but she always seems like she mad or whatever, just by looking at her face, she always seems mad or whatever, and you know what I'm saying, niggas will do shit like, damn girl, you too pretty to be looking at me, and like they don't like that shit, bro. But I know what's going through her mind now. I think I think I have an understanding of what's going through her mind now, because as a woman, you know what I'm saying, you talk about, you know, and y'all see what gesture I'm making, so you know what I'm talking about. When you talk about that, you walking around with something that every nigga that pass you won't, especially if you're beautiful. And hell, even the ones that y'all want to call not so attractive, it's at least 3 to 5 niggas a day running around trying to get hers too. You feel me? So, and for me to maneuver throughout my daily life, and to have to have the conversation of what I put on my beard and how long my beard has and how can I get my beard like that, to have that conversation 3 to 5 times a day myself. Now I know kind of what it feels like. Some days you don't want nobody to say shit to you. Like, that's how them women feel. Like, yo, back up, just leave me. You could have walked past me and not said shit, but you felt like you had to say something. Why it fucking matter to you how mad I look, bro? Like, that's what be going through their mind.
Yeah.
And like I said, growing my beard kind of helped make me privy to that thought process a little more. Because now I kind of, on a certain level, I deal with it too.
Sure.
And so I mean, and I've always kind of played it cool like that, but at the same time, like now I make sure, like lady, I ain't finna bother you.
They call
You know what I mean?
like a resting bitch face.
I mean,
That's
but
what they call that shit.
bruh, if somebody was walking past you every 5 minutes trying to fuck you,
That's what they
you get tired of that shit too.
For sure.
You would get tired of that shit, bro. I'm telling you.
That's really sad, bro.
And that's just me speaking on it from the standpoint of if 10 niggas walk past me, 8 niggas trying to figure out how to get their beard like this, whether they say it or not. Another 8 that's trying to do that shit, at least 5 gonna say it. Like, bro, what you put on your beard? Like, how I get my shit like bro, I don't want to have, like, bro, fuck it, I'll say it. But, like, bro, I went to jail. I was sitting in fucking booking. And this nigga want to talk about my beard. Hey, nigga, I'm finna get locked up. What the fuck it matter how long I've been growing my beard, bro?
Yeah.
That's what's on your mind right now.
Right. Nigga, we finna get locked up and you worried about my beard. Like, really? You ain't got nothing better to think about, bro?
Yeah.
Like, that, it baffles me. Like, seriously, I was, and I guess sometimes it makes me come off a little bit abrasive. But then he kind of realized what I was saying. I was like, yeah, bro, you're right, my fault. You know, but it's like, yo, like, it don't matter. Like, think about that shit. I'm, like, they finna lock my black ass up. And you got beard questions.
Weird, man.
Not what I did.
Beard.
How long you been sitting and booking. Like, nigga, I'm cold. We got on these little thin ass yellow joints. All us got on fucking slides. You know what I'm saying? At least I was smart enough to keep my goddamn socks. He talking about you want to take your socks off, but if you want to, you can keep them. You just got to let me see them with shit, nigga. See them, because I'm keeping these joints. You ain't taking my socks now. You done took my beater. You ain't get my socks, nigga. I ain't, nah, bro. No. But yeah, like, it happened, you know. And it's fucking crazy, but like I say, it makes me consider stuff like that now. So, like, it's just all kind of different life lessons that I try to apply to maneuvering through every day, because of, as a result of me growing my beard. Like, I'm a little less prone to get irritated or aggravated by shit people say. Like, some days I don't want to hear shit, the positive or the negative, but I done heard some people say some wild fucking shit in reference to me and my beard. Like I said, when I started doing this shit, it was just a bunch of fucking Bin Laden jokes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can imagine shit.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know, I ain't gonna say everybody, but a lot of people assume that I'm Muslim. A lot of people assume that I'm from Philly. Like that shit, like,
Yeah.
and a lot of, like, I had one white lady, she was like, what possessed you to grow your beard like that? Excuse me. The command that I have on the English language tells me that when you start a question with what possessed you, whatever you follow that with, in relation to that, you're looking down on it. You're damn near demonizing it. You know what I mean? Why my beard got to be a bad thing? To where you form your question like that, bro. And like, I had to learn to temper my reactions. Like, I've been walking through a restaurant, getting seated, and a random white dude just look up. You supposed to be eating, bro. You got a family full at your table, and you look up and go, James Harden. Yeah, bro. We ain't like it happened. It happened. Like, bro, like, this motherfucker, he reacted like he really saw James Harden walk by. And never mind, this was at a point in the year where it was like playoff time and them motherfuckers hadn't got eliminated yet, and they had just played like the day before. And I'm like, bro, first of, like, what's, like, I wanted to be like, bro, like, this shit makes no fucking sense. But like I said, it's taught me to kind of temper my reaction and expect the negative just as well as the positive that may come. You know what I'm saying? And that shit is applicable. You know what I'm saying? Shit ain't gonna always go your fucking way. And that's just the reality of that shit. And you gotta be able to deal with that shit the way it comes, both ways, whether good or bad. Because, you know what I'm saying, without the darkness, there is no light.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? A sunny day ain't shit if it don't rain. Cause then you get too many fucking sunny days in a row. What you gonna be like? Damn, it's hot as fuck. And you gonna get most people are gonna get tired of that shit.
And your crops ain't gonna grow.
And you
All
Thank you. Thank
you. Feel me?
Thank you.
all the
Sure.
business.
Thank you. Yeah, oh.
Yeah, it's real though. Patience.
Yeah.
That's real. That's why I ain't gonna never ever cut my hair. Like I don't care what it look like, cause I remember my hair.
I don't know, man. You might want to hold on to that thought and that vow, cause I done seen some cats with locks, and it's just like, bro, let it go.
Yeah, I
Let
mean,
it go.
forget,
like I done
forget,
seen a cat. His locks start here after the George Jefferson
Oh no.
sun. You know what I'm saying? Sunroof. Like,
Oh no.
cause you know how you had a George Jefferson sunroof.
Yeah.
Like his shit started back here after where the sunroof would be. Like,
behind the no.
bruh,
He put them on to a ponytail and that shit cover that shit.
right,
Goddamn.
right. That shit wild.
Yeah, nah, them you gotta let go. You got it.
Like that shit was, and the rest of it was bald. So it ain't like you know how you see some cats with locks, they'll like have like up until a certain point they'll have like they fade,
Yeah.
and then it'll just be like it wasn't that, like that shit was bald, that shit was gone. Like, bro, let it go.
Oh yeah,
You
you
know what I'm
got to
saying?
let that. You got
What
to
you
let
doing?
Yeah.
Right, that's why I went to the baldy, because I got to the point where I realized like, yo, I can get my little brush cut, but in a week niggas is gonna be like, yo, that nigga balding. So, you know, fuck it. I'll just go with the baldy.
Yeah,
You know?
right, for sure.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. That's it. But yeah, I don't know. Shoot, anything else? What we got?